Empress back again with another pick a card reading. We're here to find out. I don't know which hand I should hold this with. Yeah, because, you know, the struggle is real, guys. I'm having to hold the camera, my phone camera. I don't know when that will get sorted. I think by the time it's like late August, early September, I'll be able to get back on my camera again. So we need to find out, what does your person intuitively know about the connection they share with you? So we have the King of Clubs, the King of Hearts, and the King of Spades. So really meditate and let's go. Right, this is not edited, so you know. Okay. All right, so for those of you who picked pile one, okay, which is the King of Clubs. All right, let's move that to the side. All right, so let's see what they know about this connection. We have attraction. Don't worry, the Vaseline there. We have start anew. Okay, this is from the Romance Angel Oracle deck, and this is from the Answer is Simple deck. We have growth. This is from the Aboriginal Spirit Oracle. So it's not my deck, it's my dad's deck. But I'm just borrowing it. When I say borrow, loosely. We have Saboteur. From the Wisdom Oracle deck, we have Why. We have Time to Go. Whoops. Whoa. We have Beloved One from the Angel Oracle deck. One of Doreen's deck. Does Doreen still do decks? I don't think she does. We have the Life Review. Can you focus? Life Review. I don't know if it's just the way I'm holding it, but yeah. Life Review. Sorry. I was just kind of got caught up in like it not being clear enough. Yeah, and then from Tarot we have the Hermit, which I'll put here. Maybe that'll be more space. We have the Moon card, which I'll put there. And we have Six of Cups. Why is it not focusing? Yeah, Six of Cups. Okay, so what should we start with first? I'm going to start with Tarot. So we have the Six of Cups. This is self-explanatory. This person is aware of this connection and they see this connection as a past life connection, because we do have like the Six of Cups is usually a card of like the past, things coming back from the past, memories from a past life. But this person also feels very highly connected to you, towards you, even before they had met you. Okay, they didn't understand it on the level that you understand it in, but this person had a sense of familiarity, comfort, as if they've known you from a past life, as if they've known you from somewhere. Okay, so they're aware that there is a soulmate sort of tie. Okay, they may not know like the details, the labels, the everything, but they are aware that there is a connection, there is a strong bond, and they have not experienced this with somebody else. Okay, and the reason why they know this is because we do have the Moon card. Could be dealing with any water sign, Pisces or Virgo, but this person feels a deep sense of subconscious fears that have been brought to the surface upon meeting you. Like they feel like they get to deal with all of their fears, all of their troubles, all of their past, all of their mistakes, just by getting to know you. This person feels this on a very, very deep level. It's both subconscious and conscious. And I feel like you've just brought things out to the surface in which they've had to deal with that they usually push to the side. But being with you, it's kind of like they're forced to face their issues. So it's a lot of moon work. It's also a lot of mirroring, because the moon is also like, it's ever changing, you know, it's also like affecting the mood, affecting the way they behave. They feel like this connection has changed their whole perception of things, how they behave, you know, how they think, you know, and it does bring a lot of anxiety as well sometimes. But I feel like this person is very like much connected to you on an intuitive level. But it just, I feel like it took a time of like self-reflection. I don't think they got this feeling instantly when they met you. It happened over a period of like self-reflection, analyzation for them to get to this point, because we do have the Hermit here. So this person, in their time of recuperation, their time of separation from you, they do analyze and think about this connection even if they feel like they're not thinking about it, they do think about it, and they feel the is that the more they think about this connection, the more clarity and wisdom they gain from it. In a very strange way, this person is becoming a lot more wiser. They're going through growth, and they're starting to recognize their patterns and their behavior in the past, which kind of inhibited other connections and kind of ruined things. And they're starting to like look at this from a point of view where they're the victim, not the victim, sorry, where they're no longer the victim, and they're starting to understand that, you know, their part in which they play in sabotaging themselves and sabotaging other previous connections. So the connection that they've shared with you has brought a sense of growth and maturity in this person, and they've learned so much from it because they feel like this is a soulmate tie. Okay, so they do recognize you as a soulmate. They feel very familiar with you and they're very connected towards you. I feel like even with the moon card, thoughts and emotions and feelings, which is usually what the moon does to people, I feel like it always goes back to this connection once again. It's changed the way they think, the way they feel, you know, and I feel like it does play a lot with how they've never felt this way about another person. They've never thought in this way because of another person. So it's done a lot to them and it's actually made them grow wiser. Okay, so all right, moving on to the angel deck, we do have life review. So this connection has actually made them, again with the hermit, reevaluate themselves, go within, and they have to do this on their own. They have to do this in their period of silence. They can't do this in a state where they are still connected to you, like in the 3D world, or where they still talk to you every now and then. They have to, like, they need their space and their privacy to do this alone. And in their time of solitude, they do review their life and they do review themselves. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that's unbalanced. So they're starting to recognize themselves as somebody who, upon meeting you, was very unbalanced. Okay, somebody who didn't have their life together, somebody who, whoops, yeah, somebody who didn't have their life together, somebody who did carry toxic traits, and now they're able to go within and review, and they're now looking at themselves as the issue. They kind of think, oh, now I know where my part to play went. Now I know why this and this have been happening. They're starting to learn a lot from this connection. So they do view it in that sort of way. Next to the card, we do have beloved ones. So they do realize this is a spiritual and soul connection. We have Archangel Chamuel, I'm helping you with your spiritual and soulmate relationship. So they acknowledge that this is a deep bond because there hasn't been any other connection that they've shared with somebody else that has triggered these thoughts, feelings, maturity, you know, way of thinking. So they do recognize it as, you know, they do recognize it as like a deep spiritual bond. We literally have soulmate relationship over there. And they recognize this as something that they have to heal. Like it's not something that they can just run away from every now and then. They do need their alone time, but they feel like you guys will always come together. All right, you guys will always like get back in sync with one another, no matter how far you guys linger away from each other, because they're naturally drawn to you. Okay, they always end up coming back towards you, no matter how long the break is. Okay, from the wisdom oracle deck, we do have time to go. So I feel like they're trying to abandon all of their bad behavior, all of their toxic traits, and it's making them go within. It's making them question why did they behave in this way? Why are things happening this way? Why did you come into their life? 4 + 5 is 9, so it's a card of endings. They're recognizing what things to let go of, what traits to abandon, why things have happened, why things end. And I think it's a death of ego and also a death of, you know, their character and how they've been in the past. Because next to it, we do have the why card. So they're sitting there questioning in their time of hermit mode, why is this happening, you know? But strangely, it's bringing a sense of stability because we have 3 + 1, which is 4, and 4 is a number of stability. So they feel like their relationship with you has brought this stability, but it's also made them question a lot about the connection, but also themselves and why they behave in a certain way and why, sorry, stupid van, and why they behave in a certain manner. So it does. 1 second. 1 second. This is on YouTube. This is streamed. So okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. 1 second. This. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry. I'll get back to us. Anyways, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah. I'm saying it's making them question why that you came into their life, why that they had to stumble upon this path. Okay. But as we have from the Aboriginal Oracle deck, we do have Saboteur. So I feel like they are questioning why they were kind of like, what's the word? Immature in the past. Why did they take certain actions in their past? Why did they ruin and sabotage their connections? Why is it any good thing in their life? They like to push it away. Why is it that they don't always act on their intuition? They're starting to recognize that this connection has brought them to a new understanding of intuition, a new understanding of following their gut, without logical thought. Because I think this person used to think so logically, and now they're starting to think intuitively, and they're starting to recognize their patterns, but they're trying to dig deep and understand why that they were carrying this level of like toxic energy. All right, so yeah, it does make them, it has made them go within, so they are aware of this connection on a deeper level. Okay, they don't realize it's you doing it, but they realize that upon meeting you, that's what's triggering their new thoughts and feelings. We do have growth. So they feel like this connection has enabled them to become mature in the way. It's making them start anew. It's making them start fresh. It's making them have like a death of their old character, their old childish behavior, their old way of living, and it's making them grow. You know how this beautiful this rose is. They have thorns, yeah, but then they're very beautiful. They've taken their time to grow. Like they grow back regenerated, stronger, with a stronger fragrance, something of substance. Okay, so they are growing and they are maturing, and this connection has been able to enable that. And I feel like for group one, the good thing is I don't think you guys smother this person. I feel like in the beginning it may have come across that way, but leaving this person to grow and do their own work is the wisest thing to do, because without that they wouldn't be able to recognize their own mistakes. So the separation is needed. So if this person likes to ghost from time to time, do not take it personally. This is just how this person gains wisdom, you know? And from the answer is simple, that we do have start anew. So this person, this connection has made them feel like they're born again. It's made them feel like they've had to they're starting all over again. They no longer have to stay in this energy of self-sabotaging. They no longer have to stick to their own player-like ways or immaturity or just being a toxic person. That it's made them want to change their whole habit, their whole lifestyle, and go in a good direction that's good for them mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So it has enabled a new change in this person. And from the romance oracle that we do have attraction, so you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. It's able them, this connection has made them able to feel a lot more free. That's what I'm getting again with the roses and the flower and the nature. It makes them feel more inclined to feeling free, no longer feeling in bondage, no longer feeling attached to toxic things, now enjoying and embracing the good that comes into their life. And that has all been like achieved through meeting you. So they do have a strong sense of attachment towards you and attraction towards you, but in a healthy way, because they recognize that if you are someone who was able to bring about all this new change of emotion, thoughts, feelings, way of living, life review, then you're somebody who does play an important role in their life, and they recognize this. Okay, they feel very grateful, even they feel like a sense of comfort too, because it's like you were an answered prayer in a way. Everything that they had been, searching for. And I feel like they had been in this energy of control, like always wanting to control everything, control everything. You see in the saboteur card, you see how the person has their hands up, that they're trying to control everything. Everything is their way. But then the thing is, in the interaction card, everything's flowing free, just letting loose, smelling the roses. So it's enabled them to feel more vulnerable in a way, slowly but surely. Not 100% yet there, but they're working on it. So that's what I'm getting for pile number one. I'm going to move on to pile number two. Okay, so 1 second. I'm going to move on to pile number two. My son is making noise, so that's why I'm kind of a bit hesitant. Okay, so oh my gosh, so many cards. So many cards. Okay. So messy. Okay. Oop. Be in one place. All right, so for those of you who picked pile number 2, which is the King of Hearts, let's see what they intuitively know about this connection. So from the Answer is Simple deck, we have Take Bite-Sized Steps in reverse. We have from the Romance Angel Oracle deck, Forgiving and Learning. From the Aboriginal Spirit Oracle, we have Connectivity. We also have Illusions. Can you see that? Yeah, Illusions. From the Wisdom Oracle deck, we have Not For You. We also have Observer. From the Angel Oracle deck, Focus. From the Angel Oracle deck, we have Overcoming Difficulties. And we have Crystal Clear Intentions. And then from Tarot, whoops. And then from Tarot, we have Two of Cups. I'm going to put that there. We have Nine of Pentacles. I'm going to put that there. We have Eight of Swords. And then we have the Tower card. Could be dealing with a Scorpio or any earth sign, air sign, or water sign. Doesn't have to be. I'm hearing the word surrender. Surrender to this connection. So let's start with Tarot. Okay, let's start with the Eight of Swords, since it's closest to us. I feel like what they know about this connection is they know that they need to let go of control. Okay, they know that they need to let go of any toxic traits that have sabotaged this connection. Okay, I think it's because they have a lot of insecurities too. I'm also getting self-love. This connection needed to also teach them self-love, because this person does have a negative mindset. Like, I feel like they want to come towards you because they feel the connection very strongly with you, but they're unable to do so due to these insecurities. I also feel like this person's not somebody who can stand up and think for themselves, because I feel like they get a lot of whispers, and they often get told what to do. Like, I feel like other people whisper in their ear, and they let society's expectations and influences and other people's influences get the better of them, and that's what sabotages this connection. Friends may, whisper into their ear, that makes them question this connection, makes them, you know change their opinion about you. And I feel like this person's also someone who's just always been insecure. They've never really been able to fully love themselves. They just always think the negatives. They only focus on the negatives, and they always feel stuck, but they're not stuck. They just need to take their blindfold off. They're surrounded with so much assistance, help, aid, protection, but they don't see it. They don't look at it that way. They don't focus on that. And I feel like upon meeting you were trying to establish that connection. You were trying to teach this person that you're not stuck. You're trying to enlighten them. And I feel like the universe has intervened by, sending you into their life, that's forcing them to face reality, face harsh truths, being able to force themselves to align on the right path. Because I feel like for so long they were living in denial. They were living in a time where they feel like their mindset had not changed. They were easily influenced. Everything their friends did, they followed. But I feel like they're coming to a point where they feel like they're now having to let go of old patterns, old mindsets, old ways of life. And they're surrendering finally, like forcefully actually, to the idea of this connection, and getting rid of societal expectations of having to remain, tough and not be vulnerable. They're learning how to be vulnerable. They're learning how to embrace this connection. They're also learning to forgive themselves, because I feel like most of the activities they would have taken part in is not always winningly. It's usually out of societal pressure, because again, with the Eight of Swords here, this person, like, they feel stuck, but they're not stuck. They feel like, oh, I have to do this because this is what's expected of me. But that's not true. Okay, it's just societal pressure. It's just, always feeling pressure to do something instead of standing up for themselves. And I feel like with the Tower here, they're just being forced to align. They're being forced to surrender and be like, you know what, get rid of this illusion, get rid of this, idea that you have to be like this. Face up to all the troubles that may have been caused in the process of you trying to fit in within society. So now that this is being knocked out, now this is being knocked out of the situation. There, 1 second. Can you please leave him over there? I'll come and collect him. Yeah, I'll be back, Dad. This is. I'll be back. Sorry, I was talking to my dad. This is his deck, by the way. Yeah. My son's crying, and I don't want to interrupt this stream, so I'm gonna quickly get him, but I don't want to rush this. So yeah, I was saying, because I'm losing my train of thought here. Yeah, so the tower card, like they're being forced to understand and look past the illusions that would have been set up for them since the get-go, you know. So I think that this connection has enlightened them to see past these illusions, because we do have the two of cups here. So they do feel, they are aware that there is a strong magnetic connection here that they can't just overlook. It doesn't matter how spiritual you are or not. They do acknowledge that they feel like whatever they've been experiencing and what you've been experiencing is 100% mutual right now, okay, and it's helping them change. But I feel like they don't really acknowledge the fact that they're not looking at it as the connection is what's changed them. They're just looking at it as in, I'm just randomly changing and it's just upon meeting you, basically. That's what they're looking at it. I feel like they're not really connecting the dots, but they are recognizing how they play their part in, you know, ruining certain things, and why this needed to happen. They're starting to piece things together, okay, but they're still not 100% spiritual on your level, okay. With the Nine of Pentacles here, I feel like their whole life they felt like it was safer to just remain on their own, because they don't really know how to differentiate or separate between good advice, bad advice. This person, it was completely lost, so they feel like if they're completely lost, what they need to do is remain on their own. And I feel like when you came along, it helped put things into perspective. It helped make them think like, wait, there is somebody who has my highest good. Maybe they're there to help me. Because I feel like this person had also been trapped in their insecurities, because they've been in too many situations whereby love has not been reciprocated and things have just not gone their favor, and they've always had to pick up the pieces, and then it just becomes a whole cycle of finding things to deal with this. So they felt like it was always safer to just be on their own, but then upon meeting you, they realized that that may not be the case. There is also power in a couple, and you complement their vibe, okay. So yeah, that's what they know about this connection. I feel like this connection is also testing them to follow their intuition, okay? Because with the Eight of Swords, there's somebody who's so conflicted, somebody who feels stuck but isn't actually stuck, okay? You have helped evolve them to understand that you can feel things intuitively, because again, with these swords, they've been stuck in this mentality of logic, 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 but they're finally seeing past the illusion, okay. It's also, I feel like they also are learning how to follow their gut, because we do have crystal clear intentions. Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So they're starting to understand that whatever they want to achieve or what they want in life, they're able to go towards it. They no longer should be feeling stuck. They have to align and accept that it does require a change of mindset, but they're still figuring out what they want, okay. So trusting their intuition and focusing upon what they want. So I guess this connection has also taught them a sense of like manifestation as well. Okay, we also have overcoming difficulties. So what they know about this connection is that it was brought to them to help overcome difficulties, but not difficulties with the both of you, but more so difficulties within themselves, because the worst is now over behind you. You're surmounting any previous challenge. I feel like this is more on an individual level, because we do have the Nine of Pentacles there and the Tower card under it. So I feel like this connection has taught them to actually overcome difficulties within themselves and understanding what they want and desire, not about what they should settle for. So yeah, it has helped them to kind of differentiate the difference between logic and intuition and following their gut and their guidance, okay. But I'm also getting that it's making them become more of an observer, because we do have somebody who's just like trying to understand things from a logical point of view, and an intuitive point of view, and actually watching the connection unfold. Like they're not trying to necessarily like take action. They're more of like in the learning process of what's going on. rather than taking the steps needed to move this connection forward. So they're just in this process of observation, learning, hearing what you have to say, not really saying much, mostly going within, observing on what's gone wrong, just kind of reacting rather than, doing the actions. Because we do have not for you here. So it's kind of like they feel like it's not really for them to like take the initiatives, okay? Because I feel like they're in this process of, observing themselves, going through a tower moment in themselves, spiritual awakenings, and they're realizing that everything they had been used to is not actually for them. It's not who they are. It's not what they desire. It's just what they've been taught to believe that in society that's what they should be like. But they're starting to realize that they are different and they don't fit into all of these situations that they would have involved themselves in. So the people they would have been surrounded by, the relationships they would have been in, they're not really for them. And they're starting to realize that they're coming to an understanding that they're looking past these illusions and what is they're starting to differentiate between what is for them and what is not for them. Who are they for and who are they not for? Okay, so I don't think this is card is aimed at you, but it's aimed at everything that they've known. Okay, and sometimes they, again with the Eight of Swords, they second guess themselves. They actually question if they themselves are like even right for this situation, right for this connection. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it makes them wonder, are they the ones fit for this? Are they looking past the illusions? Are they the ones right for you? They sometimes question, are they right for you, because of this negativity they have with the Eight of Swords? But really they are your counterpart. They are somebody who's perfectly for you. You are made for each other, but that doesn't mean you guys are going to be perfect. Okay, they're starting to become this person that they've been trying to be, instead of becoming, this person that they've been molded to be by others. So they're starting to see like what is for them and what is not for them, and they're starting to see that, what, this connection has taught me what is actually meant for me and what's not meant for me. And they're trying to surrender to the universe. They're trying to surrender to destiny and look past illusions. Like what is meant for them will be for them, and they're stopping. They're trying not to force themselves into things. With the illusions here, I feel like this connection is making them see things from a different point of view, looking past the illusions, looking past what they already know. I feel like what they feel with you, they've never felt this with anybody else. So they kind of trying to see that, what, was this an illusion? Is this just what in the movies? I feel like their perception of soulmates was completely different to what they've always known. So they're kind of in this zone of like, maybe I'm looking past of these illusions. Maybe it's not what I thought it was. Because soulmates to them is, perfect person getting married happily after type ish, and they're starting to see past that. It's no longer about illusions. It's no longer about what's good for you, what's good not good for you. It's about who is meant for you, who shares your soul, what lessons are they teaching you. Okay, again we have connectivity, so they definitely feel very connected towards you. Okay, they've never felt this soul level connection with anybody in this entire lifetime, so they definitely feel this connectivity towards you. I think this is self-explanatory. With the Romance Angel Oracle deck, we do have forgiving and learning, so they're learning to forgive and learn from themselves. Again with the observation card, they're kind of like looking at themselves, pointing in themselves. Okay, this person in the observation card is looking at the moon, and the moon serves as a mirror for our own feelings, our own thoughts, and they're starting to understand where they play their part in going wrong, and they're trying to forgive themselves, heal themselves, so that they can learn to forgive others and heal others. This has been a big learning curve about this connection, and I feel so strongly towards you, and they're hoping that you deep down forgive them, and you deep down, they're learning from you, and you can take them back, and you can heal them back, because they realize that they were just ignorant and they're learning. We have take bite-sized steps in reverse. Okay, so it's kind of like they feel like they used to like stay single and take their time with relationships. It could have been an earth sign, and because that was out of fear, that was out of doubt, that was out of worry. And I feel like before they used to rush into things, and that's why things go wrong. But what they need to do is just kind of like, it's okay to learn on the go. And I feel like they're not doing that. They feel like, oh my god, like I must know this now. But I realize they feel like they're finding themselves and it's taken such a long time to get there, but they're finally getting there in the end. They literally took bite-sized steps to discover who they are, and they're only being able to discover that through you. So I feel like, yeah, in the past they kind of felt like they're not really getting anywhere. They were very lost and confused when it comes to finding themselves and who they're supposed to end up with romantically. But now, like, they're realizing now that they got there in the end. They took the steps needed, and they're finally finding themselves, surely, you know? It was slowly but surely, okay? But they needed to take bite-sized steps, and they need to be okay with learning on the go. This difficulties, overcoming difficulties, is more so with themselves, but they do feel a sense of great connection. And you know what the funny thing is they understand this on a highly spiritual level. They just never really admit to it, you know, out loud, because it's scary sometimes. It scares them, but the fact is they feel it. So that's what I'm getting for pile number 2. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for pile number 2. I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Okay, so wait a second. Sorry, it's so hard to do this with one hand, with one hand. That's why I'm kind of being interrupted. Okay, so all right, so for those of you who picked pile 3, King of Spades, okay? If you hear an interruption, it might be my dad. So from the Angel Oracle deck, we have compassion, okay? From the answer is simple that we have clear the fog in reverse. We have say no in reverse. We have give your relationship a chance from the Romance Angel Oracle deck. From the Aboriginal Spiritual Oracle deck, we have Turmoil. This is my dad's deck, by the way. He didn't make it, but I'm just saying this is a deck that he bought, and I'm using it, so yeah. We also have Manifestation. From the Wisdom Oracle deck, we have Clean It Up. We have Chaos and Conflict in reverse. Again, from the Angel Oracle deck, we have Leadership in reverse. Let me put that there. Okay, from Tarot, we have the Lovers, Gemini card, Soulmate card, you know? And we have Temperance, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you know, I'm an optimist. Sorry, that song comes in my head. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so what I'm getting, what do they intuitively know about this connection? I feel like, okay, let's start with the obvious. They intuitively know that this is a connection. They see you as a soulmate. Could be dealing with a Gemini, but they see you as a definite soulmate. They are aware of this connection more so on a deeper level than you think. With all the piles, I've noticed that they are aware of this connection on a deeper level and they acknowledge it. But I feel like with this group, pile number 3, I feel like this person's not even afraid to like dwell and like learn more about, you know, spirituality. You know, maybe this is just my energy because I am dealing with my own twin flame, and they acknowledged that I was their twin flame way before I even knew what twin flames were. Okay, they saw me as a twin flame before I even knew what twin flame was, you know, and they kind of introduced me to this idea. But I feel like this group, pile 3, is exactly the same. They are aware that you are their soulmate, twin flame, whatever title you're going to go by. They acknowledge this connection. They feel like this connection was there to teach them emotional balance, equal give and take, not to make them feel like they have to control their emotions, but somebody who's just naturally balanced, masculine and feminine energy, logic and intuition, light and darkness, you know? is meant to teach them that sort of balance. They feel like this connection was meant to bring a sort of balance, okay? But the Nine of Wands here, this person at first was really fearful of this connection. They were very scared of this connection. They didn't know what it was, but then they realized it way before many of you guys may have realized it, that this was a deep and spiritual bond. And it scares them because this, I feel like all spiritual journeys are scary. I mean, the feminines, when it comes to twin flames, they may not, scared because they may be naturally intuitive and just, used to this. But you guys need to learn how to see things from the other person's perspective. It is scary to somebody who's never really been into this stuff and who's been, used to society's way of thinking logically. So at first they were scared of it, but I feel like they're learning how to surrender to this connection, okay? It does scare them a lot. This connection scares them a lot, but they acknowledge it, that it's even there. They know it even exists, okay? We have chaos and conflict in reverse. So at first there was like a lot of inner turmoil that this connection brought them in their times of separation from you. They were freaking out about the connection, but they're now coming to a point in their life where they realize that, you know, they're finally submitting to it. They're finally acknowledging it, and they're trying their best to not be afraid of it. They're trying to find the balance here, okay? So, they acknowledge about this connection. We also have clean it up. So they're trying to like clean up after their mess, because I feel like they could have engaged in things that kind of like hurt you, and kind of messed up the connection, and they're starting to realize why they were doing it. And it was not out of malice. It was not because they're toxic people. It was not because they're bad. It was just because they're scared and they're trying to clean up the mess they've made. They're trying to make things work and be practical about it. They're trying to rectify things because they now understand this on a deeper level. Okay, it was just fear that was governing them, because we literally have from the angel oracle deck here leadership in reverse. They didn't want to take leadership in this because it scared them. Okay, let me read the message it has here. Yeah, it's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others, but it's in reverse. So they were scared. This connection scared them. It didn't want to delve deep into it because they felt like this connection is so strong that it just made them feel a bit cowardly sometimes, because it was not what they were used to. But now they're slowly coming out of it, of course, with the conflict in reverse. But yeah, they were so afraid to take action, so afraid to like take a leap of faith in this connection because it is scary. Okay. But I feel like now they're slowly submitting to it, and they're starting to understand that, they're starting to come out of illusion, because they're starting to understand that this is a strong connection, and them ghosting you, them acting immature, hurting you, will actually end up hurting you. And they didn't realize that because they weren't considering how you'd feel, because we do have the compassion card. They're starting to gain a lot more compassion, and they're starting to be a lot more vulnerable with the situation, because they're realizing that their actions affect you. Their actions, will hurt you, and you're not even trying to hurt them. It's just, I feel like it was just out of fear, but now they're realizing their fear, regardless of how good their intentions are, their actions are affecting you. So they're trying to learn more compassion, put others first. They're trying to understand this connection on a deeper level, and they're sitting to it. We have compassion, soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So they're starting to see things from your point of perspective, because you are their soulmate, you are their twin flame. They no longer want to be in this situation where it's kind of like me, me, me. They're starting to understand that their actions have consequences and their actions affect you because you're connected. Okay. It was just out of fear. Okay, that's what I'm getting, because we do have clear the fog in reverse. So that I feel like they were in this past sense of illusion. They didn't know how to function when it came to these things. They just, whatever they were used to, they were happy with just being ignorant. Ignorance was bliss. But now they want to clear the fog. Okay, we have cleared the fog, but it's in reverse. So I feel like they're still having a little bit of time to get there, but they're trying to be in the process of clearing the fog. They need to clear the fog. Okay. We also have say no. So before they were in this pursuit of rejecting you. They're kind of like, I don't want to deal with this, because it was so scary. They had their defenses up. They just wanted to reject anything and everything. But now they're finally starting to acknowledge this connection for what it is, and they're realizing all their mistakes and what they would have done to sabotage it, what they would have done to push you away. their aloofness, their detachedness, their coldness, and now say no in reverse. They no longer want to reject this connection. They no longer want to, be in this false sense of illusion. They're finally learning how to, to accept it and embrace it. We have turmoil here, so it did bring them a lot of turmoil. This connection did make them realize it kind of acted as a mirror, like to their behavior. They started to see how toxic they were. They started to see that, you know because this connection, again, like all the other piles, brought like inner life reviewment, like inner analyzation, making them realize that, everything that they had brought into their life was for a reason, and they were trying to learn from them through the pain, okay? But they realize they don't want to give this relationship up. They no longer want to reject you, say no in reverse. They want to acknowledge this, because we have give your relationship a chance. So they want to work on this partnership with you at the right time. They're waiting for the right moment, but they actually are trying to work on this. They know that they have to work on themselves before they come forward to work with you. They have to build their confidence up, because we do have leadership in reverse. So they're trying to be more compassionate, more vulnerable, but also take charge and be, a stable person, emotionally, because we do have temperance. They're learning how to deal with their emotions, and accept love. They no longer want to be in this defensive energy. That's why we have conflict in reverse. They're slowly coming out of it, and they're slowly recognizing the turmoil in which they would have caused because of their pain. Okay, they don't want to reject you. We have manifestation. So they are learning how to manifest you back. They're using the power of their mind, the law of attraction. They're learning how to call you back in, but in a very renewed and pure way. They no longer want to use mind games. They no longer want to be toxic. They just want to surrender to this connection and acknowledge it for what it was, and just be wholesome, okay? Because the temperance is a wholesome card. So that's what I'm getting. This person's manifesting you back, and I feel like they understand this on a deeper level, okay? More than what they let on. All right? They feel it. They may not be able to verbalize it, because it may be an issue verbalizing how they feel, because my throat right now is even hurting as I'm talking about it. So their throat chakra is a bit, but in their heart space and their mind, they understand this better than you think they do. They may come across as, oh, I'm not really into that, but it's just a facade, okay? But they're learning how to submit to this. So that's what I'm getting for pile number 3. Let me know how that resonated. Let me know what else you want to see next. Bye.